Shadows from a past generation blocked out the sunshine from my soul. I act out in any situation in a desperate attempt to be complete and whole. When I was touched by love, it created confusion, such confusion. When I was touched by love, it created confusion, such confusion. Love to me is a strange country, a place beyond my wildest dreams. Love to me is a strange country, a place beyond my wildest dreams. Love to me is a strange country, a place beyond my wildest dreams. Wildest dreams, wildest dreams, wildest screams. Shadows from a past generation blocked out the sunshine from my soul. I act out in any situation in a desperate attempt to be complete and whole. When I was touched by love, it created confusion, such confusion. When I was touched by love, it created confusion, such confusion. Love to me is a strange country, a place beyond my wildest dreams. Love to me is a strange country, a place beyond my wildest dreams. Love to me is a strange country, a place beyond my wildest dreams. Wildest dreams, wildest screams, wildest dreams.
The Soho Sanctum Hotel. This is Ethan McKinley's Questionable. I'm sitting next to Robert PERENO, the legendary raconteur, actor. What else are you? Hellraiser,
Ethan, we
poet.
have done a podcast before. So this is
episode
not
3.
A one-night stand. This is now a proper affair.
It was so good the first time around.
That we're back.
He held me afterwards.
You know what? As I get older, I can't answer that question. One of the problems I had when I was really young, when I went to drama school. At drama school, they say, Robert, do you want to be an actor?
Yeah.
Do you want to be in a band? Do you want to be a poet? Do you want to paint? You can't do all these things.
Aim it at the microphone, sweetheart.
When I was younger, and at that time, you had to concentrate on one
thing.
Now, ironically, people are doing. The lines are blurred now, so you can
diversify.
You can paint. You can do voiceovers. You can do poetry. You can. It's a mix and match age.
Yeah.
That make sense? So I sort of like I've caught up with myself.
Well, the performance you've just given, it's you, Logan Sky, who I guess is the composer and arranger from Visage.
I met him because he lives locally to me in Greenwich. He was with Visage for the last 5 years. He's very mindful. He's very exact, which works really a good counterbalance to my sort of anarchy.
Yes.
So the combination of my anarchy and his exactness creates a good dynamic. And so we're working together. I've called it PERENO the Musical as a kind of ironic title because what is a musical? It's like an opera. It's a dramatic. It's
a walk through your life, isn't it? It's like a Greek tragedy of sorts.
It's a Greek tragedy, but I can't help being funny.
You're the chorus as well as Oedipus himself.
Yeah, but I think you've got to tell a joke here or there, so I'll catch myself. But that has to be organic. I think comedy has to be organic. Tragedy is actually really easy to be dramatic. It's very hard to be funny.
Well, that was a good thing about it. I think, like you had like there was a structure to it, wasn't there? But you kept jumping out and breaking the fourth wall, kind of.
I really worked the structure.
Yeah.
I have to have a structure. It's really funny because what I was doing was I'd read something, then I'd crunch up the paper and throw it on the floor. And when I saw the mess, I wanted to tidy it up. I'm very OCD, and I wanted to tidy it up. So I incorporated that.
As part of the show.
Yeah, because that's me.
Yeah.
I couldn't cope with the mess. I wanted to create a mess, but then I wanted to tidy up the mess. And that's very much a metaphor, an analogy to what I'm like. I like to create a mess, but then make order out of the mess.
Well, you just performed to a packed house, haven't you? Mark
Fuller?
Yeah, Mark
just
Fuller,
interviewed him.
who was the last podcast we just did, was a bit concerned no one would come, but we literally were overflowing, weren't we? Everyone loved
Mark
it.
Fuller, of course, managed Pleasure and the Beast, and towards the end of Shock, Pleasure
Is that
and the
how
Beast.
far you guys go back then?
Well, Mark Fuller, I met him in Chelsea one day. He was working at SEMI-AUTOBIOGRAPHIACL, which was a photographic, I think they're still going.
Yeah.
They develop photographs. And he said, I'll manage you. The worst decision of his life and the best decision, because he ended up meeting Steve Strange, going wild, throwing all his money at this project, leaving that career. In the end, my mother had a friend who had a club called Fubert's, where they had the Batcave and a lot of seminal nightclubs back in the day, in Covent, around here, just off Carnaby Street, in Fubert's place. So he started working with her. That led to him meeting, through me, John James. Now, who's John James? John James married Debbie Raymond. Debbie Raymond was the daughter of Paul Raymond. She sadly passed away in 1993.
The King of Soho.
Yeah. They got married, and they had two. They've got anyways two. The inheritors of Soho, the grandchildren, Fawn and her sister, and they own the freehold of this hotel.
Sure. Okay.
And I was at school with Howard Raymond. So Paul had Debbie and Howard, and I was at school with Howard. Mm-hmm. We used to come up to Soho when I was 14, clubbing, all free. So I started clubbing at a very young age. And one day I came back dressed like Alice Cooper at 5 in the morning, bumped straight into the headmaster, who goes, "What do you look like?" I said, "Your wife, dear," and that was it, expelled.
You're out. You're out, PERENO.
So we were both expelled, and I then decided to go night clubbing for a long, long time, where we have that connection. I should never have been a nightclub promoter.
Neither should I.
Because it really,
Not
it's
lying.
very exhausting. It
It
dissipates your energy, and I'm someone who tries to connect people, and I get really confused, and I walk away in conversations, and I should have concentrated on what I really like.
Well, you did
I
nightclub.
like being in a library.
You were promoted
and
every
gardening.
night.
Yeah.
I did
every
it once
night.
a week and I
But
couldn't keep up.
But for I was earning a lot of money, so I'd do the Crazy Lads Tuesday, here's 500 quid a grand, Gwag Thursday, Ministry Sound Saturday, Embassy Club, this club, that club. But I got into a mess. Because it went so well, by 92, 93, 94, it was really over. But I'd keep going back to it, mainly because somebody said, do a night, earn some money, and I should have stopped, but I didn't. But that's fair enough.
Have you stopped now, though?
I think I have. That's why I did a tea party. Really, I'd like to, when I'm my best, I get up about 5 in the morning and I read for an hour religiously, and then I put some music on, and then I perform to myself and I write. And at that time, you should see me perform. I'm rocking. I am like rocking sober.
If we can get everyone to come to the Sanctum Hotel at 4 a.m.
So my next
we're in
show
for
will
an
be at
amazing
9
show.
in the morning.
Okay.
I just don't want to do really, really late nights. I mean, I went through a long phase of going to Trade, a club I helped open, which was a big gay club that opened at 4 in the morning with Lawrence Malice. I found the place, Tall Paul's father. And I go through long sober phases, 3 years. And I used to get up at 5, cycle there, just to be in this surreal, decadent atmosphere. Everyone's really out of it, and I'm totally sober. I don't know, have you been in that?
No, I haven't.
It's kind of really fascinating. It's like you are in another planet, in another zone. You're with people who are like so out of it, and you're so to this hard house music playing. Gonzalo, top DJs playing, Robert Owens playing like 12-hour sets of trance, dance, electronica. So I'm fascinated by that other world. But really now I'm at the age I really like gardening.
Well, I was going to say, you don't want to revisit that anymore, but I suppose you revisit it through your art now, which is, I guess, this show which we've seen today.
Because I read a lot. It's funny, at school I got obsessed by Rimbaud, mainly because it's pretentious. No one else had heard of him. And Rimbaud was a poet.
Leonardo DiCaprio in the movie,
yeah,
which I've not
and
seen.
Rimbaud stopped writing poetry at 21.
You cultural fool, Ethan.
One of the songs I do, Drunken Boat, that's one of his poems. And he had this affair with an older man, Verlaine, one of the great poets. There was a really destructive, really absinthe-filled, crazy, drugged out, drinking, crazy. And I had a picture of him on the wall, just to counterbalance the other boys had Bowie or Alice Cooper. I had Rimbaud. Not really understanding at boarding school where things did go on, or who he was. I've just read a biography on him and I got fascinated by him. I got fascinated by he suddenly at 21 went, that's enough. I went off to be a businessman. He died at 37. Just as he's dying, he changed everything. If you look at the lyrics of Patti Smith, Jim Morrison, Bob Dylan,
Yeah.
he changed. He went from that flowery poetry of Baudelaire in France or Wordsworth, I Wandered Lonely as a Clown, to kind of punk.
Yeah.
There's one, he was raped by a lot of men going to Paris. It's either mythical or true, but anyway, it's like he's going, and they spat in my face, they hurt my soul, they spat, and went their spit and spit. He's like punk. So I take someone like Rimbaud, I take The Drunken Boat, put it to music, twist it, and make it mine. What's that great phrase? You know, good artists borrow, great artists steal.
Steal.
I fucking steal, motherfucker. I can't say that. Can I say that?
You can say whatever you want.
I can.
Whatever you fucking want. So what we've seen today is then there's some of your own stuff as well, isn't there? I mean, you did Smile.
Because
by
it's my
William
favourite
Blake.
poem.
Yeah.
Which you've heard me do a million times.
Well, you did it. I think you did it on the last podcast. I think you
Because
opened with
it's
that.
such a, William Blake would write in one go, no editing, and I think all of us are looking for that inner smile. Louise always says to me, "Are you happy?" And I always say, "I'm nearly happy," because there's a part of me reaching out for this unattainable. And he grows. There's a smile of love. We know that. There's a smile of deceit.
Yeah.
There's a smile of smiles in which these two smiles meet. There's a frown of hate. There's a frown of disdain. There's a frown of frowns which you strive to forget in vain. For it sticks in the deep heart hall, and it sticks in the deep backbone, and no smile that ever was smiled, but one smile alone. Betwixt the cradle and the grave, when only one smile can be. And when you can find that smile, when you really find that smile,
It's
there's
conversation.
an end to all misery. I mean, what a perfect poem. Understandable to a 5-year-old, Felix, Logan's son, understandable to an 80-year-old. I am not an intellectual.
Yeah.
I was not particularly bright at school. I tried hard.
Well, no
Genuinely,
artist is, I don't think.
I'm not. I am not a Stephen Fry. I am certainly not a Russell Brand. I know people have a contentious
You are Russell
issue.
Brand.
Not well.
You're like the 80s Russell
I
Brand.
find Russell Brand. My problem with Russell Brand is if he's going to be a God Jesus, be nice about everybody. Why is he so angry? Because he's really angry at himself. And that anger shines through with him. And so he's a very good looking man that has this kind of ridiculous anger towards things, but basically his anger is directed at himself. He is angry with himself. He needs a beer. All this, I've sat with him.
Is that one of the Iron Maiden beers, the
I
Sanctum
don't know.
Hotel
So
cell?
I think about him a lot. The voice is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Why do we talk about Russell Brand?
Well, because I think to me
I've
you're
met
slightly
him.
reminiscent of each other. You've got this
Am I?
the same
We
like
talk fast.
erratic energy. You've got this you've got
I'd blow
constantly
him
like
away.
you've got
Bring
to,
him here. I'd blow him away.
you've got to like produce an output of like art. You've got like this artistic output. You must kind of like tap into all the time and tell people how you feel and do all
But
these
I
performances.
go on stage to find a communal love. He seems to be on some sort of rant,
Yeah.
and also he keeps changing tack. So 1 minute, don't vote for anyone. There's not going to be a revolution. His revolution is not going to happen.
Right.
That's a sort of internet sort of conspiracy theory. There ain't going to be a revolution. And suddenly he meets Ed Miliband, and suddenly we should vote Labour. And then afterwards he makes some comment saying, well, I'm not really political, I'm a comedian. It seems to me, dissecting it, looking at it carefully, that Russell Brand has a problem with Russell Brand. He taps into...
Well, he's trying to find a new voice, I think, as well, isn't he?
Yeah, I know, because I can see from your voice,
Yeah.
connecting with him. I'm not connecting with him. I don't connect with it.
Well,
But
a
then
voice in
again,
terms of-
you know what?
He wants to change things, I think, and it's I suppose when you realise the magnitude of what you're up against, that's what the place
He
he's
ain't
in right
gonna
now. I
change
assume.
nothing.
No.
No. But he's just not going to change anything.
Yeah, that conversation.
Because he's angry. You cannot change anything if you're angry.
All right. Well, your performance then today, what was that? It was a mix. We had William Blake, we had Rimbaud, Bo.
Yeah, Rimbaud.
How much stuff of that- there was a
it's
lot of your
true.
stuff in there
Louise's
as well, though,
daughter,
right?
Louise, beautiful Alice, is not talking to her mother, and Louise had this nightmare, this dream, where she saw two Alices, one drugged out, one sober, and she got screaming. I went to, what's the matter? So Logan came over, put music on, and I just made those words up. I'm my best when I make it up on the spur of the moment.
So you were
My
freestyling
problem-
today?
No, today is construct. My problem between the last show and this show is that to recreate construct and find freedom, that's hard. I mean, Fleetwood Mac have done a tour, haven't they?
Sure.
To do the same song for 50, 70 years, a part of me would like to go on stage totally free. I mean, that sounds ridiculous. You need a kind of construct.
Well, I was thinking the stuff I saw today, that would go down very well.
I'm so intelligent to myself tonight.
You ever thought of going to like the smaller festivals, like Secret Garden or Rumpus?
Yeah.
Rumpus last night. It's all that kind of thing. It's all spoken word. It's all like speaking, freestyling, poetry. You
Is it very earnest? Do I fit in? But then a part of me, you see, a part of me on stage.
There's no age group at
wants to be
Rumpus.
Iggy Pop.
But you're the
I'm
Iggy
torn
Pop of.
between being Loud Bar and an
You're
Iggy
Iggy
Pop.
Poet.
I'm Iggy Poet. I was obsessed by Iggy Pop.
Really?
Obsessed.
Why is that?
One, his lyrics are really good, you know. And I'm bored. I'm the chairman of the board. What a great line. You know, I am the passenger. I ride and I ride. And his stance, he's got huge penis as well.
Who told you that?
Everyone, I've got friends who've seen it. It's a huge penis. Apparently mine's fine, but I'd like it to be frighteningly big.
Yeah.
Like literally when
I'm okay with
the
mine.
people reject it. I've just read a book by Caitlin Moran. She's a really good writer called How to Be a Girl. You should read it. It's so funny. And it's her kind of sexual awakening, and she's a little fat thing who lives in Wolverhampton and wants to be, and she ends up in bed on her second date with a guy. It was so big, she didn't know what to do with it, but the way she writes about it, and I kind of want to be that man, really. Yeah. Am I being serious or am I joking?
Well, we don't know, but that's why we had
That's
you
what
on.
life is. Rimbaud said life is a fast and it has to be lived through. So I don't know. So when I say something, I might not necessarily agree with it.
No, well, that's fine.
Because if Russell
You're a
Brand
contradiction.
walked in here, I would probably lick his ass.
Literally.
But no, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. Not when I'm dating you. That would be. I would never do that to you.
no.
Never.
As long as you looked at me and made some like positive eye contact during, I think I'd be
I
fine.
would. I'd hold your hand. So you know, because Louise always says I flirt, but I'm not aware I'm flirting.
No, you've just got this like
But I honestly,
infectious
but I guess it's
energy.
different. If I went to you, hey baby, you know, I mean, you know, give us your number. We should meet somewhere. That's like cheesy. That's horrible.
Yeah.
One's being friendly. Is that flirting? Is
A little bit, but I think that's kind of
So
like
where's
it's your
the
way
line
of
between being over familiar or amiable,
feeling
to
someone's tits and talking to
Well,
them,
I
I
would
guess.
never
Exactly, I wouldn't do
go
that
and
either.
grab your tits.
Exactly. If you keep a
I
foot
might
distance, I
stroke
think
your
you can get
arms.
away with
I
most
might
things.
stroke your arms.
That's fine.
By the
That's
way,
fine.
my last ever night of sexual, no sexual at all. I ended up going with Marco P. White's son to Maddox, where the drinks seemed to be all free.
I was there that
And I
night,
was in
Robert.
a bad state because I've kind of split up with someone I'm still fucking married to, and I'd kind of lost everything financially, and I was in a state, and I got really drunk. I ended up with no clothes on. I'd given them all away.
In the VIP room.
Oh, absolutely.
I left.
I was in such a state. And the next day I rung up Freddie Moss, who owns the club, and said, that's it, I'm never clubbing again. You know what? I've kept it. I've never been to a club since, and it's your fault. I really
What?
I was so out of it. I think I'm making up stories. It's nice. When you're drunk, that's the whole point. I don't know what I was doing. Didn't do any drugs, actually. It was just vodka. Cranberry juice.
Yeah, no, I was there, and most of that story is true. You did, in fact, go into the VIP room,
But
and
I
you
thought
were
I'd hand
naked
you
on
the mantle.
tables.
But you know what? We've done it, but you don't want that lifestyle anymore.
No,
I said,
well,
tell
I
me
mean-
about your club.
As I said, I did it once a week, and that kind of working a 40-hour week in one day when you have to get like only 10, but you have to get 10 supermodels to come to a club and drink for free, which sounds easy. Who doesn't want to come to a club and drink for free? Nobody wants to come to a club and drink for free.
But clubs have changed, haven't they? So when I did it, I'd be the only promoter.
No.
And also there was a real mix between rich, poor, colour, gay, not gay. And what's at the West End now, it's just money.
Yeah.
Sit down, spend 500 quid. Cheesy kind of blokes with loads of money fawning over young girls who are just as guilty.
Drinking for
scrounging
free and
drinks.
scrounging drinks,
It's a
yeah.
kind of cheesy kind of house music. It
There's a
doesn't
poem
appeal
in there
to me.
somewhere.
It doesn't appeal to me anymore. I mean, I liked that much more urban. I mean, the trouble is, what's happened is the rents are expensive, and I understand that. So you get a nightclub in Warwick Street or wherever, Maddox. You have to make money because
100 grand a week.
Perhaps in the 80s and stuff, the rents were cheaper. You could go, I'm opening a nightclub. Now they would need to know. They need to know how much it's going to make before. It's so Starbucks monetized now.
Sure.
Everything is. So I mean, the East End, even the East End now is getting to where is it? I'm sure there is stuff happening, and I'm loving. We listen to Radio 6, Soak 19 from Northern Ireland. Have you heard her? Fucking amazing. Her new single, amazing. Sea Creatures. I cried. I wrote the words out. 19, Northern Ireland, a girl who's come out. Amazing. Villagers, Palmer Violets. I buy all the new albums.
Well, speaking of albums,
I buy all the new albums.
Have you got an album coming out? Because you've got a
Well,
SoundCloud.
it's called Tales of Sound and Fury.
So I've listened
Do you
to
know
5
what?
tracks.
I'm going on a flow with this. What I would normally do in life, I would build something up. I'm not scared of failure. I'm really scared of success.
Well,
Failure I quite like. You know, Flaubert said the greatest vice of all was not self-pity, was not drugs or drink. It was self-pity. I love self-pity. If you gave me £1 million now, I'd go to Desert Island and feel sorry for myself.
It fuels your eye.
Self-pity is the worst thing of all. A friend of mine's father died, an alcoholic, no money, and I was with him the other day, and I said to him, "Did your father have self-pity?" He went, "No. He died a great man." Self-pity is the worst vice of all. I love it. I love feeling sorry for myself. You pull a lot if you feel sorry for yourself. They come and save you and try to change you. Self-pity. So Flaubert said the greatest vice, and in Dante's Inferno, those who live willfully in sadness is the lowest circle. If you're going to be a serial killer, enjoy it.
Well, I'm sure they do, really.
Don't
to
start
be fair.
feeling sorry for yourself and like guilty about it. I'm no longer a Roman Catholic as of this second, because I grew up very...
Just this second?
I am now Christopher Hitchens. I don't even want to use atheist. There is no higher power. You can either pay your bill or you can't pay the bill. The rest is all cant. Rock and roll.
So what? To bring it back
Can
to
you
your...
pay the bill? No.
Fuck off.
End of discussion. So Russell Brand, that's life. You can pay the bill or not pay the bill. The rest is motherfucker.
Are you willing to pay the bill?
Louise! I never have any money on me. Funny, I did the voice over Barclays Bank Premier Card, and I've got ATP in Barclays. And I'm the voice. Hey, join Barclays Premier Card. It's the card for you. I've got fucking ATP in it. But do you know what? There's this, I read the other day, this millionaire, multi-billionaire, my age, in India, who's just given everything away, 600 billion quid, to become a Jain monk. You know what a Jain monk is? That's the most strict. You have to have a
transsexual
broom. You have
monk?
no shoes. You have a Jain religion is a sort of sect of Hinduism. It's a very strict sect.
Okay.
You have to walk around with a brush in case you step on an ant. Now, part of me understands that. That total, he's given it all away.
Is that just to make sure he gets through the pearly gates?
I
though?
think he's a coward. He shouldn't have done that. I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Kill an ant. I love killing ants, don't you?
Yeah,
I
fantastic.
killed hordes when I was young. And you know what? This morning I saw hordes more. I didn't kill ants. They keep coming back.
You've left it behind like the nightclubbing.
Maybe I should be a serial killer. I'm going to join ISIS, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. I quite like the look.
Well, you've got the beard.
Yeah, no, in Islam, you've got to keep the beard, you've got to trim the moustache and let the beard go. But
So I'm not a
apparently
fan of that
strict
look.
Islam's down there.
Quakers, Amish, ISIS.
I know ISIS. But you know the Muhammad?
Yeah.
Not Mohammed, Muhammad.
Muhammad.
Actually, his first wife was 40.
Holy cow.
But you know, he'd be like Jimmy Savile now, Muhammad. By the way, can we say this? Are we going to get a fatwa?
You can
good?
swear. You can do anything you like.
Muhammad married a girl at 9. Now, if he was around now, Muhammad...
9 o'clock at night.
He'd be with Rolf Harris, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
9. So, fuck Muhammad, that's what I say. Bring on ISIS. Come here, bring Russell Brand and ISIS here and deal with me. Yeah. Louise is asking me to come on. Where are we going with this? You've got
I was
a
going to
young
ask
guy,
about
you
your
should do
album.
an interview with him. He's going to be
Hello.
a rock star. And that guy there,
Him?
there next to him, he's like really well connected. I think it's a good network thing over there.
I was going to say, your album.
Yeah.
Can anyone buy your album yet?
No.
Why?
I don't want them to fucking buy it. I want to know who they are first. Who are they? Who the fuck wants to
Well,
buy
it's
my
called
album?
Tales of Sound and Fury. It's on SoundCloud. I've listened to half of it. There's more to come, you said, right?
You know what? I've got to take Simon, trying to work with Simon. By the time it's out, I'll be dead. But when I'm dead, it'll sell loads, won't it? Rimbaud, when he's dying, that's when he made it. Nietzsche, I don't know.
When is your next live performance, Robert Perino?
In about a couple of hours with Louise in our bedroom.
Easy. Oh, my God.
Nipple clamps, the lot, yeah. But, you know, the pegs, I like using the pegs.
Well, is there anything you want to promote while you're on the show?
Yeah.
What?
I like to promote Corona beer. Corona Extra, it's the Corona beer for you.
Yeah, Corona Brew, if you are out there,
I like
if you want
to on this one, I like to promote Trooper. Look at that one.
Well,
Iron Maiden's beer.
Iron Maiden own half the hotel, so the beer obviously is exclusive, not exclusive
Ethan
to here.
McKinley, questionable, has been sponsored tonight by Trooper Beer. It's the beer that takes you to places
you're
that
covering the label
no
there.
no other beer can take you to. This beer guarantees religion, rock and roll. Yeah.
The lovely artwork behind you, is that from the
That's
art
me.
gallery?
I did that when I was. That's me. I did that in 1974.
Oh,
the
very
teacher put these flowers in front of me, said draw them, and I couldn't. So I started doodling, and I'm still doing it. And this is. Hello, Amy. Hello. Oh, God, her name
It's
is-
fine, she's a
Oh, well,
woman.
it's the same thing. That's not a nice thing to say.
I know.
Muhammad would
But she loves
disapprove
it.
of that one.
Well,
No, I really like Muhammad actually. I don't. I've
that's
never
what
met him. I'm gonna take that back.
take it back.
I like
We're sorry,
ISIS. I love
Mohammed.
you, Muhammad, Russell Brand. I like you all. You know what? When I say things, I'm only being a little queen. I don't mean it. I love you, Russell.
A bearded queen. So if people want to find your album, Tales of Sound and
They
Fury,
go to SoundCloud. They go to the Facebook, barbariancuts66.com.
do you need us to move?
Yeah, we're nearly finished. We are nearly finished. I'm going to sit in that bird cage in a minute. So listen, ISIS,
I think they have a next
Mohammed,
act here.
Russell Brand. I'm joking.
We are joking,
I'm
Russ.
being funny. Right. Why are there no televisions in Afghanistan? The Taliban. I like that one.
Robert,
Have I driven you mad?
not at all. I'm just. You've made an album that you don't want anyone to buy or see. It's on
It's
SoundCloud.
not finished yet.
Oh, how many more tracks? Because I've listened to 5.
Well, do you know what? Get
Exile.
Simon C. Wright. Hello, Simon. Could you contact Ethan here and say when it's going to finish?
Yes.
I'm off for a curry now, I think.
We
We've got
should
to
all
go back
go
to
for a
Greenwich.
curry.
We're driving. No, we've got to drive back.
Oh, nice.
Because we've got the car and.
Well, I should be visiting you in Greenwich shortly. I
Come.
think.
Come
Not
for supper,
tonight,
stay
but I
the
will.
night. Come and see us. Come into the shopping, have a haircut. Louise Dean used to cut. Oh, God. I was joking about the nipple clamps, by the way.
Were you? Well, the rest of it's been
Cut that
true,
out.
though.
That was a joke.
Like all good disinformation, it's 90% truth and 10%
My mother
bullshit.
might watch this. Joan, listen, what I wanted to say was Barbarian Cuts, 9 Turpin Lane, Greenwich,
Yes.
in the Ben Oakley Gallery. It's full of wonderful art, like Tommy Fiendish. And
Don't forget Gene
have a
Bible.
haircut. Oh, we love Gene Bible.
We forgot
he
Gene
likes
Bible.
you a lot. He
Lovely
likes you.
guy.
I do talk a lot, don't I?
You do, but that's why you wanted to come on. That's
I
why
need
we
to
had
pee.
you on.
It's like I think with prostrate as you get older, you need to pee a lot. But it's not
Size
that
of a
ferocious.
grapefruit? How big is it, you think?
I miss that at school I could pee right over things, like long distances.
With an erect
It was
penis,
like
we could all do that back
I
in
was
the
like
day.
I was like Niagara Falls.
That
And
doesn't
now-
happen anymore, let me
now
tell
it's
you.
like these occasional little dribbling. As I get older, Ethan, it's just a dribble.
Yeah. Get your have you ever tried to find your prostate? The old scissor and twist?
I have had an Irish doctor put their fingers up there.
How did it feel? Did he milk you?
I don't know, after this whole prostrate thing. But you know what? Illness is a liberating thing as well.
Oh, it is.
It's not so bad.
Yeah, I guess you learn what's valuable in life.
Look, I'm standing with 2 beers here. I've insulted Mohammed. I've insulted Russell Brand. I don't know what I've said. You're going to put this out. And Louise will be upset. Everyone's going to be upset. There's a part of me that always wants to say sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
you don't say sorry. Robert,
I'm really sorry.
darling.
Should we do Romeo and Juliet together?
We should.
That would be a production, wouldn't it?
Well, we need a balcony, though. Well, we're in a roof garden, I guess, in a
Shall
hotel.
I do the scene I did in the show? If I
Go and stand in the street
with
and
my
shout it up to me.
worthiest hand, this holy shrine, the gentle kiss in this, my lips to blushing pilgrims, ready stand to seal this hand, Ethan, with a gentle kiss. I love this man. You know what? Genuinely, I really do like you.
I like you too.
And I think what you're doing is fantastic, and you always hang out with the right people. Do you know what?
Only 'cause of you.
I'll tell you something. A lot of my life, I hung out with people without knowing it who didn't want you to do well. Sometimes even the closest friends don't want you to do well because you go outside their remit.
Exactly.
And I think you've learnt that now. Now, I see a change in you.
Well, now I've got no friends and I do the show on my own. Yes, it's all
But
good.
we love them too.
We love them
We
too.
love everyone, and we just want to smile. I'm upset Muhammad, but he's, because I'm upset about that.
Pig Tits 1, we love you.
Rock and roll. Bye.
That was Ethan McKinley's Questionable. The charming and lovely Robert PERENO who's just walked off the show. And yeah, thanks for listening. It's an audio podcast by the look of it, I think. And this is just now me talking to myself because Robert has just left the room. But that's what you expect when you get an eccentric raconteur, if you will. And hopefully we'll see you next week for a new show. I've been Ethan McKinley. This was the Sanctum Hotel in London. I'm now stammering and stumbling, fumbling around in the dark, trying to find the light switch, which is the moniker of the show. And we'd like to say thank you to Mark, the owner of the Sanctum Hotel, that made this show possible. And thank you to Robert, an interesting individual, a lovely guy. And no, he's great. We love you, Robert. And tune in next week. There'll be another exciting episode. And yeah, thanks for listening, I guess. Bye.